Hi everyone, today's lesson is about the Cartesian coordinate plane or the Cartesian plane. Specifically, in today's lesson, I will teach you on how to plot points in a Cartesian plane. But before we go into that part of our lesson, let me just introduce to you the parts of a Cartesian plane. So the first thing you need to remember is we have a horizontal line, we call that the x-axis, and we have this vertical line, and we call that the y-axis. So horizontal line, x-axis, y-axis, vertical line. The intersection of those two, we call that the origin. You see that red dot in the middle? We call that the origin. Now, the Cartesian plane has four regions and they are arranged counterclockwise. This region is what we call the first quadrant. This region is the second quadrant. And then the third quadrant, and of course the fourth quadrant. So we have four quadrants and they are arranged counterclockwise. Now, in a Cartesian plane, we have what we call points. These points are also called coordinates or ordered pair. In each coordinate or ordered pair, we have the x and the y. So x is the horizontal distance of that dot or that point, and then the y is the vertical distance. So, for example, in this point, this point, the first one, what will be the coordinates of that? What will be the x and the y? So the x is, there you go, that's 2. We can clearly see that's on 2, so that's 2. And then vertically, that's 4, so that's your y. We also call the x coordinate as abscissa, and then we also call the y coordinate as ordinate, but we can just call them x coordinate or y coordinate. Let's go to the second point here, the point on the second quadrant. So the x coordinate of that is, that's right, it's -2. And then the y coordinate is, that is correct, it's 1. There you go. And then let's go to the point of this one on the third quadrant. So the x coordinate of that is, that is right, it's 3. -3 to be specific, sorry. And then the y coordinate is -4. All right. Let's go to the last one, which is this point in the fourth quadrant. So we have this 5 as our x coordinate, and then the y coordinate is obviously -2. There you go. Now, if you look at the signs of the coordinates, we can clearly see that in the first quadrant, the x and the y coordinates are both positive. In the second quadrant, the x coordinate is negative, and then the y coordinate is positive. And then if both quadrants, or if both coordinates rather, are negative, that belongs in the third quadrant. And then of course in the fourth quadrant, we have a positive x and a negative y. All right, let me just erase this. All right, let's go to the plotting of points. All right, let's plot 4 and -3. Now take note that that 4 is your x, and then the -3 is your y. So 4, that's +4, which is right here on the right side of our x-axis. And then -3 is here, right? So that means it will go down 3 units. So that will be -3. So that will be our point M. Okay. And then for A, we have a -5 and a 4. Again, the -5 is our x, so that means that's this one. And then the +4 will be that 4 on top of your y, which is this one. So some students, they do this. No, don't do that. That's wrong. So it should be horizontal and then vertical. So that's the horizontal and then vertical. There you go. That's your point. Right, let's go to point D. 1 and 5 both are positive. So that means it should be in the first quadrant. It should be somewhere here. Okay. So 1 is right there. And then +5 is right here. So there you go. That's our point. Okay, second to the last, we have a 0 and -4. I think this is the last one. 0 and -4. So 0 is our x. So that means that's in the middle. That stays in the middle. Right? So -4, what is that? That's our y. Okay. So we have, remember that x and y, so where's the negative 4 of y? It's down there. So that will be our point H. Alright, so there you go. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye.